Live from Sin City, Las Vegas, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, and trade it. What's going on? Folks and friends, team and family, fans and followers from around the world. I hope you're all doing stupendous. It is Thursday, earnings day Thursday. It's the day where all the big ones move. All the big ones, specifically the big one, the one that everyone's here to talk about. We're going to be talking about today. Don't you worry. We'll be reviewing what's going on. We'll talk through it. I do wish that the wicks on this chart would get updated. That would make it nice. But we'll see what goes on. So SPY gapping down post-market because of Apple's earnings, and it did gap down. So we're going to talk about that. You know, Apple, the biggest company in the world, gapping down on earnings. They did fine, but Apple, it's a coin flip, guys. It always is. You know, if you have shares or calls or whatever, trust me, this will not be the last time that Apple gaps down on earnings. Happens all the time. So I will go through everything, but yeah, the Qs are gapping down a little bit. SPY's gapping down some, IWM, right? I mean, gapping down a little bit, and then the Dow Jones is just kind of hanging out. What's interesting, and this is going to make a very, very fun, super fun location. I mean, check out this candle on the Dow. So I don't know if we're going to have a massive bearish day tomorrow. I don't expect it, although anything is possible. I really don't expect a massive bear day, but if we get a close below here on the Dow Jones tomorrow, I would at least either A, buy some puts, B, buy some inverse ETFs, or C, do something that makes money as the stock goes down, just as a hedge, just as a protection. Because that would be a really, really intriguing location. Now, I don't actually think that happens. We probably just have a little bit of another high wave candle, and we end the day with, you know, some volume, and that's pretty much it. That's all we got. But in general, we're at so much support here, all kinds of support on the Dow Jones, 100 on the weekly, right? You got the 200 on the daily. But just know, if we close below here tomorrow, I'm going to buy some puts. Just in case. And a lot of it's going to depend on Apple. So we will get into Apple, I promise, but let's start with some other things first. Let's go look at PRTS, carparts.com. And we're going to discuss what this one's doing, if anything at all, and car parts. So this is one that I think my buddy John Salvia wanted to look at. And ironically enough, I mean, I was talking to a good mentor of mine yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday here in Vegas while we were having breakfast, and he was talking about how just surging the car industry is right now, car sales and the inventory and the lack of manufacturing because of factories closing down and, you know, workers not working because of COVID. I mean, there's an inventory issue right now with a lot of vehicles, believe it or not. So yeah, car companies are going to be making some strong moves, and carparts.com allegedly is another one. Strong breakout, good close. You're taking out the 2008 highs on this stock, and I think that's more interesting than not interesting. Earnings on this one probably will be pretty good. And the last few earnings, I mean, there wasn't anything to write home about specifically, but yeah, that's a good looking chart. Looks nice. It's one to keep on your list if you're watching it, John. And in general, buy as low as you can. It's already made a pretty high move, but it does respect its 100 simple moving average pretty nicely. SGMS, Scientific Games Corporation. So Scientific Games, I don't have any position in this one at all. But if I were looking at playing it, let me go over to the monthly chart. Yeah, we can see that it's relatively choppy. It's pretty sideways. Nothing too immaculately trendy about this one. So that tells you that you want to buy as low as you can. And that lowness would come around $28. So here's the weekly chart. And the 200 simple on the weekly is 28.63. That's the weekly 200 simple moving average, 28.63. So if I was looking at playing scientific games, that's where I think I would buy it. And, you know, again, as with everything, earnings is right around the corner. This chart looks like it is weak if earnings gap down. So if you get a gap down on earnings there, you know, expect some weakness, expect some selling, and maybe you just have your small order to buy some at 28 and the rest order to fill at 24 on scientific games. Next on the list is Expedia, ticker symbol EXPE, and Expedia Group. Earnings around the corner. I'll be saying that a lot, but well, actually, I mean, I will, but soon the earnings seasons will be over. Very nice hammer. I like that hammer a lot. Really pretty hammer, nice bounce off the 100, good little move right there. And then really we just retested and retraced that price. The cool part is whoever made money playing that hammer once, they're doing it a second time off of this low. So just again, keep in mind that earnings are in just a few days. The weekly chart on Expedia doesn't look awesome. And the monthly chart also doesn't look great. I'll probably just wait this one out. Not a lot of people booking tons and tons of trips. The 100 simple acting as a good resistance. Looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. I think there's other stocks to be in other than this one. So yeah, just move on. Just move on. All right, Frog, F-R-O-G. This thing is jumping all over the place. I mean, you got upper shadows, lower shadows. You got some wildness going on. I do like this hammer back on the October 8th candle. And again, on this one, earnings are just days around the corner. So I'm probably going to wait on Frog. This is the hourly chart. And if I were looking at playing it, I'd want to buy as low as I can. Again, it looks a little sporadic. So if you're looking at trying to probably play it, again, you can play anything, any stock on any time frame if you want. Just, you know, draw your support resistance, buy low, sell high. I mean, in essence, that's kind of the whole, that's kind of it. So if you are looking at playing it, even if it's just for 3 or 4 days, right? If it comes down here into 70, you buy it, it pops around and you sell it before earnings and you make $7, $8 a share. Cool. That's doable. Like that's actually possible. Other than that though, that's all I got. I think we can wait on that one. Nothing too crazy. SRRK, what's this one? Scholar Rock Holdings. Oh man, that was a nice move 2 days ago. Jeez, just volume out of nowhere. Scholar Rock Holdings Corporation. I don't even know what this, I need to find out what that is. SRRK. What do we got? Short float 7%, market cap's $1 billion, 21 million in sales. Not a lot of data on this one. Scholar Rock announces first patent dose. Oh, okay, so this is a pharmaceutical biotech company. Yep. Interesting. I mean, the crazy thing is with that kind of volume and those candles, that could just cause it to move all by itself. Realistically. The best way to play this one, probably buying some type of call option with an absolute zero and just seeing if that works. Yeah. I don't know anything about this one. If you do, feel free to throw in some research and let us all know about it. But, you know, when you're dealing with more or less the no-name companies, good volume, good increasing like this, it obviously can continue higher, but you just don't know anything about it fundamentally. It's a good breakout on a technical chart. They've been trading sideways for 1.5 years. Immaculate volume. Absolutely can go higher. So yeah, the way to play this one probably would be to just buy some type of out of the money or in the money call option, have an absolute zero risk. If it goes to zero, you lose an R or, you know, 2 Rs or whatever, and let that be that on Scholar Rock. But turn the hourly chart on, turn the extended hours off, and buy a pullback into the 20 EMA and let it ride. That's probably what I would do on SRRK. Nice one. That was cool. LRN. So this is one that I thought was going to help out Laureate Education because it was a really, really good gap. And it was a gap and go that just immediately failed. Immediately. So gapped up and then just scorched the earth lower. So LRN, Outtown. So that's kind of what caused us to get stopped out on LAUR, I think. This was a really, really nice hammer play. That was a good setup. I like that strategy. It was a pretty profitable strategy, actually, and this one just didn't work out. It could have been based on the market. It could have been based on LRN coming out with earnings and trading down because they're in relatively similar industries. But we did get stopped out, or at least I did, on Laureate Education, and that's updated in the spreadsheet journal. Loved the hammer, loved everything about it. Easy setup, just one that didn't work. And again, in general, that's really all we want to do. When we're going through our trades, we want to be able to look at these charts and go, this is why I took this trade. This was the setup that I liked about it. Do I take these type of trades often? And if you can answer yes, that's really the key. This is another brilliant hammer. But the volume for day trading is not amazing. Earnings on this one are kind of around the corner, and I'm going to wait this one out personally. But that is a very good hammer, and you know, if you want to trade it shorter term, cool. But I think the volume on it is a stock that makes me kind of want to wait that move out. Okay, so that's LAUR. Now we did get triggered into this one. I mentioned this one yesterday. I was like, well, I'm gonna leave it open, and well, here we go. So we are in on BILI. Stop loss we have at 43.94. Entry was 46.17. Here's the 15-minute chart. So it just kind of out the gate. We triggered early on this one, like right at open, with a decent little gap. So I do like the overall gap up today. I like the bear candle yesterday. I like the lower shadow. It's kind of like a hammer candle from yesterday, really. And I mean, I don't see why it doesn't work. If it doesn't, it'll be, hey, another losing swing trade. But if it does work, great. I mean, I like the close, I like the candle, I like the volume, I like the direction, I like the charts, I like it bouncing off the 100. Fingers crossed that BILI plays out adequately. AMD. So AMD today, I still would love it down there around 73-ish, but you did have a bull candle today on AMD. Now, does it have to bounce from here? No. Will it bounce from here? Yes. The question is just how far, right? Is this it? Is this the only bounce we get and we get some more selling tomorrow? It's possible, right? Depends on how bearish the market is. Here is the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks kind of like the SPY, realistically. A little double topish, and it just kind of depends on what happens. So the 100 simple moving average, good support. I did miss a really nice day trade on this one. So this is the 5-minute chart, and this is what I was looking at. Let me turn on the pre-market actually. Give me 1 second. All right, pre-market. Okay, so this is what I was looking at early this morning, and I did set this trade up, it just didn't trigger. This was your high wave 5-minute candle. So again, as far as how I take these trades, you guys pretty much know that's one of my favorite candles. Very indecisive, right? It's your first 5-minute candle out open. Next candle was an inside candle. So I said, okay, cool. Let's set it up. I let the stock trigger above, and then I set up a limit buy to see if it would retest, you know, because the market's been very retesty. So there was the break higher. There was the retest. And if you're like, oh, Jeremy, you probably got in, right? Well, we set the trade up, just missed it by, you guessed it, about a dime, AKA 10 American pennies, and then just ran higher. So anyway, that was pretty much it on AMD. I tried the setup, just didn't quite get it. Nice day trade though. Love that high wave candle. And yeah, I like the volume. I like the premium. A lot of people got some put sales. So let's just sit back, relax, and see what AMD does. Longer trade sideways, and that 100 comes up, I think the better. Tesla, perfect inside. Well, is it an inside day candle today? Wow. Wow, perfect inside day candle today. Tesla's getting ready for something. Don't know what it is. So I did watch this for a day trade. I did set up a day trade. I did miss the day trade on Tesla, but that is a really interesting high wave candle. Very interesting. I have a limit buy to buy these back tomorrow at $2. $2 limit buy. Now you probably can just let those expire worthless. I'm most likely going to be out of those tomorrow fully, and across all my accounts. And I'll still have these March calls. Now again, this is a March 2021. Unless I'm mistaken, you still got November, December, January, February, March. It's still 5 months. Craig says they could get S&P inclusion. It could. It could. Although historically, it hasn't really helped many other stocks. So, just because they get added on S&P doesn't mean it's going to go higher. I just think it's going to be trend based. I mean, it's not making lower lows, which is good. So as long as the stock doesn't really break down hard, which we could find out tomorrow and or the next day, if it does start breaking down hard, we could get a little bit of selling. So I'm going to watch it relatively closely and just kind of see what we do. But yeah, I mean, we're at the 50. So that's the support. If we break down, 100 simple moving average will be the next stop. Is my assumption, which is 346.50. So we'll let it trade sideways, but hey, at least we're hedging with options a little bit, selling that call against the call that we own and going from there. Mo says, do you put stop limits on your longer term options? So stop limits is an entering order to get filled on a trade. You're most likely referring to stop losses, and stop losses, I do put stop losses on longer term options. Yep, that is correct. I don't have any on these particular options on Tesla yet. The ironic part is these options have lost half of their value, literally half of their value, even though Tesla has just gone sideways. So that's really intriguing to me, mostly because you still got 5 months left. So unless the volatility on Tesla is just gone for good, it would be my assumption that when volatility picks back up, those options are going to increase much more than they are now. So they're really, really not expensive. I mean, for a March, 5 months away, they're pretty cheap. So the longer it trades sideways, the cheaper they become, so we'll see. We'll see. This is kind of a potential Biden play. Right. This is a potential Biden play, right? If Biden does get elected, he's been talking a lot about adding charging stations and green energy and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm not saying that Tesla would just automatically go higher if Biden gets elected. And I'm not saying Biden is going to get elected, but technically it's either him or Trump. So unless I'm missing something, one of those two people will be president in later November. So this could be a Biden play. If Biden gets elected, maybe Tesla shoots higher. I don't know. Waiting, being patient, and we will see. Edward says, Trump's going to go green too. The whole world is, in my opinion. Michael Holt says, I'm writing in Jeremy Newsom for president. I love it, man. Thanks. Ron says, do you use hard stops on your leaps or do you hedge with options? I hedge with options. Yep, I do not use hard stops on my options. I hedge. So I can have stops on my options. Usually they're very low, right? So if I buy an option for, let's say, and I'll show another one, an example. Let's say I buy one for 6, my stop will be 0, right? So if I buy an option for 6 and I buy 10 of them, I will risk 6 R's if it goes to 0. And then I will simply hedge with options from there if it goes to 0. And that's a really good example because that's going to pretty much be what Activision's doing. So once I get some more information, then I start increasing the stop from 0. Then I put it like 1, and then I put it to 2, and I put it to 3. But yeah, I pretty much just hedge with options. So I'll buy puts and I'll sell calls against my leaps, just like it was shares. The thing is, this Tesla call option is no longer a leap. It's no longer a leap. So 5 months away. But I'm just going to wait until it hits this 100 simple, because really, in essence, Tesla hasn't actually bounced off its 100 simple. It bounced off the 200 back during COVID. This 100 simple is going to be a little bit of a support for Tesla. So we will see. We will see. It is very high. So Tesla is not impervious to go lower. I promise. It's not. So if we start breaking down, I will sell some calls, maybe 500 December, and buy some puts and make some money with options as it heads down. Yep, let's see what it gets. All right, JKS, high wave candle yesterday, and today is another high wave candle. So you have a high wave candle followed by a high wave candle, 2 high wave candles on JKS, which is Jinko Solar. This thing could break out in either direction. It's been really fun to day trade. A lot of day traders have been watching it recently, and yeah, keep an eye on it. I mean, really, tomorrow and or the next day, or maybe next week. But as a reminder, on Monday, there will be a brand new stock gaps. So anything gapping beautifully on Monday, pay very close attention to it, because Monday will be gaps on the daily, weekly, and monthly. So pretty big deal. So whatever gaps on Monday, those will be some really good gaps. Robert says, and a full moon phase. Yep, that's correct. So I'm looking for some bulls to come in on Monday, Tuesday of next week. We'll find out. JKS, nothing there really specific, just waiting. Cloudera. So Cloudera, I mean, the only thing at this point that's really holding this little cookie monster up is the 100 simple and the monthly. But I have reduced my share size on Cloudera pretty dramatically, and it's closed below supports. It's closed below the 200. It kind of keeps going a little bit lower. Yesterday was a lot of selling on Cloudera, went down to 934. So sold some puts for a small profit that we bought back on the 20th of October. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, so Cloudera, I'm continually reducing my share size and hedging with options as it just seems to go a little bit lower. So I bought back all of my covered calls on Cloudera. Now I'm just in some shares and some puts, and we'll see what happens. The 100 simple on a weekly chart is acting as a little bit of a support, so that's nice. And then the monthly chart still technically is a double bottom. I do like the high of this hammer candle. The high of this hammer candle is 939. The low of this week was 934. Well, the low this week so far. So that's why I got out of some of my puts, because again, there's your really, really nice hammer on the on the monthly chart. It's a monthly hammer. So yeah, we'll see if Cloudera starts bouncing. Right now, it looks like it's just going to take its sweet time. LCA, Lancandia Holdings. No idea what this is. Looks like a SPAC. I bet it is. Yeah, good old financial conglomerates. Good old Lancandia. Another EV company. Shocker. Shocking. No idea. I mean, yeah, no clue. So if you were buying this one, again, I don't personally have any positions in these, but if this is the support area, so if I was buying, this is where it would be at, and buy low, sell high, my stop loss would pretty much be at 11, and then hope for the best. Pray to God that it goes higher. That's all I got. All right, next on the list is GAN. So speaking of gambling, GAN, WD GAN, 5 bearish candles in a row, and it's at the prima donna of supports. So this support is immaculately strong. And if we close below it, it's going to go right back down to $10. T says, stay away from SPACs, guys. Speaking from experience. Yeah. Yes. So this is a good support. Definitely. Definitely a good support. And with this level, I just hope it doesn't really break down hard. So if it trades sideways and bounces, fantastic. If it breaks lower from here, most likely we'll trade down to that $11 space. And then from there, maybe bounce, maybe not. Eventually, I'm sure it'll come around. Most IPOs, right? They do like to eventually run early and then pull down, chop around below the IPO lows, and then eventually go higher a year or two later. I mean, that is what Pinterest did. So just throwing that out there. Speaking of Pinterest, we can go look at it. Right, so Pinterest, you can see it ran up after its IPO. I played that. It came back down and double bottoms. I played that. And it came back down. I tried to play this again and then got bit on earnings. And since then had to get some creative financing of my own. Not really, but I mean, it started accumulating some positions and just started going accumulation mode for the next year. And then it paid out. So yeah, Pinterest is up a lot. PINS high. So right now for me, this is all unrealized gains. I did have some realized gains on Pinterest on the leaps that I bought on one of my other accounts. But yeah, this one is holding up nice. I did do a covered call 75 for November, and I got $1.80 on that one, which is a lot. No, $1.88. Got $1.88 on that $75 November covered call. Pablo says, I sold a $59 put for tomorrow for 92 cents. Wow. All right. That's not bad. 59 for 92, expiring tomorrow? Where's the love, dude? You don't want to throw that one my way? I mean, I could always have more Pinterest exposure. All right, let me open that up. Pinterest. So I know that one's on one of the ones that's on Matt DeLong's momentum and 15 list. So feel free to check it out. Pablo says, I just sold a put at the price I like. Yeah, man. Makes sense. So you can expect Pinterest to drop a little bit. Again, this gap could fill, but it probably won't fill all the way. It'll fill most of the way, like 60, 70%, and then it should be good to go. Ron has a $57 put sale expiring November 20th on Pinterest. Right on. So a lot of you are selling some puts. It isn't a strong trend, and I did not do any put sales on it today, personally, but I do have a covered call on it on November at 75. Ronnie boy, H-Town, getting that covered call in, put sale in. All right. Gotcha, my man. Pablito. Allison, by the way, Allison won herself a nice chat with me sometime tomorrow. So way to play the game, Allison. I love it. Awesome update. Very, very cool. 20 hours with families and kids. Go Allison. Like, how cool is that? 3 hours of exercise, 3 hours of reading, 19 hours for chores and errands, 19 extra hours. Look at all that extra hours. I mean, how cool is that? And so you got 20 hours with family, and you ate food, and you traded your face off, and you slept at night. Oh man. Killer. There's a lot of time out there, folks. There's a lot of time. There's only 2 people in this world. Well, I don't know if this is entirely accurate. I'll say this. There's 2 people in my world, in my mind right now, that I kind of am massively baffled how much time they have and how they can do things. And that is Matt DeLong and Brittany Turner. two people that I spend a lot of time with. I have literally no clue how they do all the things they do. But then, of course, the man, the myth himself, Elon Musk. I mean, you know, in between building rocket ships and cars and giant caverns in the ground from which people transport themselves extremely quickly. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Anyway, and a computer that links our brains. Yeah, let's not even go to Neuralink. That's just a whole nother, I don't even get it. Yeah, it's amazing. So I think that Brittany and Matt are actual humans, but I can agree that our boy Elon Musk is no chance he's an actual human. Definite android. All right. Anyway, very cool. So Allison, me and you gonna chit chat tomorrow. That's Pinterest. Let's go look at Amazon. And I'm kind of pumped by Amazon gapping down. Guys, in a way that this is really exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted. It didn't have any gap at all. So there's a lot of traders who did some bull put spreads and put sales around 2,500. We were talking about that last week because we said, yeah, if it gaps down, it's going to fade higher. If it gaps up, I don't know, but they're going to have good earnings. I mean, the earnings were amazing. Amazing. But yeah, they're gapping down a little bit. So option sellers will be rewarded. Option buyers are going to get burned. And if you're in shares, you know, it's just another earnings. So for me, I think I can move these lines. I'll just do this. And then I'm going to draw another horizontal support line on Amazon. And so I'll be looking at and keep an eye out on 2,900. So pull down to 2,900 and most likely going to snag a little bit of a position in that one somehow. Probably a bull call spread or maybe a bull put spread or just some shares, but I'm going to be a little patient on Amazon. Obviously, we know it's going to go higher, but it's just a little bit of a distribution phase. Buy it low enough, sell it high enough, be patient. That's pretty much it on Amazon. All right, Apple. So Apple absolutely train housed earnings. They did phenomenal. They did phenomenal. But it is gapping down because Apple gaps down all the time on good earnings, all the time. And it will be at 110 tomorrow. Now, it still has not hit the 100 simple moving average. Type in a 4 if you remember me saying multiple times that it will hit the 100 simple. So it's going to, it looks like it's going to happen next week, if not tomorrow. I won't be day trading at bearish tomorrow. So Apple's just going to kind of hang out and do its thing. And it's just going to, you know, be in full chill mode, more or less. So yeah, it's going to hit the 100. Apple's very high. It needs to kind of calm down. I got some put sales for it. I don't mind owning shares at 100. But the intriguing thing is after this premium, the premium is going to be slowly dissipating tomorrow. Even though, yeah, we have elections and we have 3 weeks until expiration, I'll probably be able to buy those back next Monday or Tuesday for a win, or just leave them alone and maybe get some shares put to me at 100. That's also a possibility. Edward says, put me at 100, I dare you. Yeah, pretty much. That's the thing. Is like owning it at 100, you know, it was at 136. When we sold Apple, we sold it at 137.59. So we'll see. I'll probably leave mine until expiration. I'm not really stressed out about it. Yeah, I'm not that stressed. Okay. Next on the list is the Googsters. Googie McGoogleton, strong gap up. So of the beasts, of all the giants, it's Google that's performing the best. And it's a strong gap. Strong gap. YouTube up 35%, something like that, which is phenomenal. I don't know what caused Google to bounce yesterday. I'm really surprised that it pulled down and bounced. I don't think anyone would have had any idea to go long on Google recently. I mean, it would have just had to be a shot in the dark at playing Google here. But yeah, it's a good gap. I mean, it's Google, it's the internet. It's never going to go away. They can have a class action lawsuit all they want, but that's not going to change anything. So I'm going to move my next level of support on Google here, and then I'm going to move one up to there. And Google will probably never see $1,000 again until it has a split. So very strong gap. Let it pull back into maybe 1,600 at some point, and then, you know, it's Google. That's usually the analysis on that one. All right. Speaking of Google, at one point I had to Google what is Bitcoin, but that was a very long time ago. At that time, there was very little information on it. Now there's a lot. Bitcoin, BTCUSD is up. This weekly chart is just my expectations of what I think it's going to do. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but Mr. Squiggles has the dip down to 11.5. And the Squigs is anticipating higher movements going into next year. I mean, we got the close above 12,000 team. That's all we needed. That hasn't happened since forever ago. So next, I mean, we close above 14,000. Good golly, Miss Molly. No clue when that's going to happen, but you know, I know Joseph's been actively trading Bitcoin. I mean, why would you not? It's really fun. Buy low, sell high. That's pretty much it. Michael says, do you always do straight Bitcoin or derivatives? Bitcoin and Ethereum are my two largest holdings of any holdings of anything. But yeah, BTC is the number one, my man. It's the main one. So strong trend, be bullish, be long, long and strong. Next on the list, Ethereum. And Ethereum hanging out. I mean, I really like this hammer on the weekly chart. I would like it to pull back again to 375. Really what we're getting, in my opinion, is just some nice consolidation. This is the monthly chart on Ethereum, and I don't know why my Siri keeps going off like this. So good close on the monthly chart. We have 2 or 3 more days left, and it did retest nicely, but the fact that we took out that bear volume with this kind of a close and we've retested nicely and comfortably is in all essence a good sign, I think. This is the weekly chart, and boy, oh boy, here comes the surge, da-da-da-da. Waiting for it. Buy the dips, be long. Okay, next on the list is the day trade of the day, brought to you by Spotify. This is actually the 3rd time that I have effectively played Spotify off the 100 simple moving average. And I should have bought a option or something down here. Now, we did sell the option the other day, and this is a phenomenal hammer. So I know I don't make a lot of these trades official, or I don't put them on the spreadsheet, but I will be getting back into Spotify at some point. So Spotify was a really, really nice trade for me, and I was able to exit 2 days ago. Great hammer, very good gap down. I'll show you how I day traded it today. Because remember, these patterns work on all time frames. But here's the 5-minute chart. And when this candle came in right here, so this purple line that's on your screen, the purple line, that was the, or is the 100 simple moving average on a daily chart. So all I said all day long was, all right, guys, I need to get close above there. Once it closes above that line, I'm going to buy it off that old resistance's new support. That was it. Now, keep in mind, when I'm about to do the replay, I had already lost on the day on 2 trades. I got wicked out of Zoom because I moved my stop allegedly too aggressively. And then I just lost on CCXI. It was a perfect trade, so I'm not really mad about it. So this was, I had to get those, I wanted to get those losses back. Robert says, then you saw my trade on Slack and made a better one. So I will say, full disclosure, I did not see your trade on Slack before I posted mine. Although I do love you immensely. You and I do trade very similar. I was stalking Spotify all morning. There was no chance I was going to miss this one. But yeah, so here's pretty much what happened. I was waiting. This candle came in and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to watch it. This candle came in. I was like, all right, well, I definitely have to watch it now. That looks really, really nice. Inside candle, even better. Boom. So when this candle comes in, I was like, okay, cool. I'm most likely going to take this trade, but it hasn't closed above the 100 yet. Hasn't closed above the 100 yet. Hasn't closed above the 100. Boom. There's the close above the 100. There it is. So that was the close above the 100. And so this was the setup that I took. I did 252.39 by 248.88 was my setup. And there it is. Pure luck, by the way. I never get that good. That's never happened in my trading before, but it was amazing. I was like, no way, did I get filled? Oh my gosh. So that was it. And then literally, bloop, right to the target. So good. Such a good trade. Just sheer luck. Now, I could have just bought off of the 100. I thought about it. I was like, well, it's probably going to go a little bit lower than the 100. So I just kind of randomly picked a price. It's just perfectly, totally random. Double bottom neckline retest. Yep, you're correct, guys. This is a double bottom retest of the neckline. So it's nothing that I've never taught before. Just buying off this retest, this neckline. So bought there, stop was below the low of the day, and it just ran immediately. It was correct. I mean, I didn't even have time to do anything on this one, really. I had a target and got out. So that was 2.3 Rs on Spotify. And I had lost 2.37, I think. And I had lost 1 R on something else and then 0.8 Rs on something else. So I think I should trade spot more often. What do you guys think? I feel like I get lucky on Spotify a lot. So next, this is the perfect hammer. And let's see if we can, I don't know. I mean, there's never been a time we've had a perfect hammer, a really nice bullish candle with good volume off the 100 simple moving average before, right? So there's no way we can probably look back in time and go, well, you know, if only there was a pattern that I could like study. If there was like a recent, is there a chance? Could we, at any point in time? So study that pattern. That's pretty much how I'm gonna play Spotify again. And let's rock and roll and have a good time. Should be fun. Thanks for the arrows, Robert. That was perfect. All right. So I've already looked at AMD, DocuSign. No one in the entire free world is signing any documents right now. Or at least that's what it feels like. So what I have on DocuSign is a limit to buy an option 250 January 2022 call at $40 a contract off of the 100 simple, which is the support. That's pretty much it. So DocuSign hasn't hit the 100 in a while. Last time it hit was COVID and it just bounced. So I'm just going to expect it to maybe pull back down there and then maybe bounce. And then I'm just going to kind of wait it out and be patient and let DocuSign do its thing. So next earnings is in December. And so yeah, DocuSign off the blue line. That's what I'm doing. Gonna wait around and see what happens. Redfin, RDFN. Very nice morning star. Now again, earnings are around the corner. Off of the 100 simple moving average. I heard Craig Levine's in this trade, but I could be wrong. RDFN, nice morning star, great location. I did miss this one on a day trade because I was a giant chicken. Yep. I was just full chicken mode on this trade. This is how I wanted to set this up. just really based on a feel for Redfin. I want to get in here or the stop here. That was the analysis I was doing this morning in the day trading room. That's how I should have played it. And that would have worked out nice. I would have gotten out right there on the new high. That would have been 1R. So yeah, Redfin and Zillow, both of those moved like kind of well. But yeah, this is a really good pattern. Earnings is around the corner. You can still watch it really nicely for a day trade or maybe a really, really aggressive swing trade tomorrow, something like that. But Redfin and Zillow both setting up kind of cute. Zillow had a really good gap today. It also has a nice little new white soldier candle. Trend is pretty. So yesterday, Gene Munster asked me in the interview, which will go out Sunday, between Zillow, Facebook, and Apple, which stocks will be higher? And that was an easy answer. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Zillow. We're gonna watch it. Robert says you got to interview with him. I did. So that was Wednesday. That'll be going out on our interviews. Yeah. Michael says, "Wow." I mean, he's a cool dude. I like Gene. Good old Jeannie McGenerton. Yep. You got it. I got you, bro. All right. That is Zillow. Next on the list. What do we got? PayPal. So PayPal earnings later. And yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm still in this bull call spread. It's 2022. So I'm literally just going to wait. I would assume PayPal is going to have decent earnings. But again, are they going to gap up? I don't know. They're very, very high. I realize that. I mean, the trend is up there. It is up there, but I mean, trend is bullish. So I'm just playing a bullish position. I'm in it long. We'll see if it works out. PayPal. I did miss my target on this day on the 21st of October by 30 cents on the option trade. So that was also a really good trade that Robert took. He almost exited the exact high of the day on that day trade as well. I think he got out at like 215. The high of the day was 215.83. So good day trade, Falconium, and that's it. PayPal, I mean, I'm in it. Stay in it if you're in it, if you want to be in it. If you're not, wait. Farfetch Limited just never pulled back for me. There was a trader or two who wanted to play Farfetch, and trend looks nice. Pablo says this one triggered the Momo today. So this is a 78-minute chart, and Pablo is absolutely correct. Pablo says he bought 2 calls. All right, I like it. And so again, I'm sure a lot of you have been back trading the Momo strategy that Matt talked about. And if not, he'll be back tomorrow in the afternoon room to talk about it. Also, put sale class starting tonight. So Farfetch Limited, again, if you got in on when the Momo actually triggered, great. If not, if you want to try to buy a pullback, feel free to. It probably will pull back a little bit tomorrow and, you know, buy the dip. Do you guys know this works on the daily chart too? Yeah, it's crazy. Works on a 5-minute chart also. Weirdest thing. Why would a moving average strategy work on a 5-minute chart? I can't wrap my head around that yet. Seems mysterious. All right. Pablo's new best friend is Joe. Joe. What up, Joe? And Joe is Joe looks good. Joe looks very good. Monthly chart. Joe, this is a handsome chart on Joe. Now the thing is, the long-term moving average is 200 simple. That is a resistance, 28.73. Just keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it. So if and when that starts breaking out, we absolutely could keep an eye on this one for some continuation from there. This is a finance real estate development company. And I mean, gotta love that candle today. Looks really, really pretty. So yeah, Pablo, looks cool, man. Well done. good stuff. Way to play, and the best of luck. Let's continue to keep an eye on that one. Fill me in, keep me posted on this one, and maybe November, December, I can trade it as it breaks through that weekly 200. Where am I at? Okay, oh wow, I got 10 minutes. I gotta speed up. SD, Sandridge Energy. Wow, man. If your kid has trouble sleeping, just print out this chart and let he or she look over this thing. Earnings is around the corner. If you want to do anything on this one, I would do a straddle. If I would just buy calls, I wouldn't even buy puts. I'd buy calls out of the money and hope for a gap up. And if that doesn't happen, then cool. But if it does, then great. Okay, Spectra Energy, ticker symbol SE. Oh no. So where am I going? Spectra Energy, SE. This, talk about an unstoppable company. This is wild. I mean, this thing is just, look at this. Oh my goodness. So the crazy thing is, at this point, whatever pullback you get on this, it'll get bought up from here, I would imagine. You know, the trend is your friend thing. I mean, this thing is friendly. How's it even hit the 50 since April? Banana town. Straight up banana town. I just look at this and just get flabbergasted by the bullishness of the stock. So anyway, that's C Limited by the dip, I guess. CHWY. Woo, CHWY. So I'm trying to find out when to get back in on CHWY. I had 800 shares. I sold those on $69. And I mean, really my preference is the 100, AKA buy off the blue line. That's my strategy. That's what I think I'm going to try to do, is just wait until we get down there. Am I going to miss it? Yeah, probably, but I'm going to wait. I want to wait. Now the Momo is still long on CHWY, but if you took your profits or exit or whatever, cool. Or if you're still in, cool. Looks good. I do like me some CHWY. I just want to buy it lower. So buy low, sell high. TeleDoc, you know, I do like the gap down. I was pleased on earnings. It is down. It did gap down. That is a fact. So I did have a collar over earnings just in case. I'm not upset with its price action at all, but if it closes below the 100 simple, I might buy, and I might get into another collar. So I might get into another collar if it closes below the 100, just to hedge with options, and then I'll buy more if it comes down to 180. So again, TeleDoc, this is a longer term play for me. I am in with all kinds of things. I'm waiting for it. I'm watching it. I'm not going to press my luck on it. I'm just trying to be patient, and you know, we'll see what it does as it hangs out. Eventually let it pull down to maybe like I said, 180, and then get in with some size down there and wait it out. Tupperware. I mean, who doesn't like Tupperware? Who doesn't use Tupperware? Who doesn't buy Tupperware every day? The answer is everyone. Everyone does that. Every one of you here and every person on earth apparently is buying $400,000 worth of Tupperware every single day since COVID. So Tupperware going from $1 to 30, because why not? And good gap. This target is the 200 simple on the weekly chart that I just showed you. Wait it out. Don't get in here. Don't buy up here. You're chasing if you do buy up here. Give it some time and we will see what happens. Just going to wait it out and yeah, buy low, sell high. Buying up here is not buying low. DraftKings, speaking of buying low, guys, I think DraftKings is just going to slowly meander lower. So again, I know a lot of people have been watching this one. to go higher. And again, as I mentioned back over here, it's not going to just bounce from here. So this candle, when it closed below that hammer, when this candle closed below this hammer right there, it's not the most bullish thing in the world. So yeah, just let it consolidate down here. Today is an inside day candle. I most likely going to put some shares of DraftKings, and then we'll see. Yeah, I'll be in 100 shares, and I got the November 30. So if I get put shares down there, I'll have 200 shares at the cost basis of like 36, 37-ish. And then we will see what happens on DraftKings. But for the moment, nothing special, nothing great. Ride it out. Beyond Meats, BYND keeps scorching the very earth on which we walk. It had its run up, and now it's had its pullback. So Beyond Meat, I am looking for it around 135-ish, 140-ish. Yeah, I mean, it just keeps getting mammored. So if you played it bullish and made some money, congrats. Let's see if it can pull back down to here. Somewhere in this zone is where I'm interested in it. It could get back down to 120. I'm not entirely sure, but this stock is a volatile stock. Very, very, very fun stock to trade. I forget if this is part of Matt's 15. I think it is. But if it's not, this is one that you can definitely put on a 78-minute Momo chart. It is on his list. Okay, I thought it was. Because, yeah, it's a very, very, very fun stock to trade. Extremely, extremely fun. Momo on this one's been bearish for a bit. Look at those R's. Pablo says, buy low, sell high at its best. Yeah, pretty much. You are correct about that, my friend. Wix. So Wix is just chilling. Really good support. I'm just kind of waiting for 238, see if it gets down there. Right now, we're just trading sideways on Wix. Nothing special. I don't have any positions in it right now. I sold my positions on Wix for a small gain. And at this point, riding out the storm. Alibaba. Buy low, sell high. Trend is bullish. Buy the dip. Baba looks good. So stay in it or wait until earnings. Snapchat. SNAP looks like it's following the blue line. So I can take this line off. I can take this line off. Snapchat is in a pennant pattern, and I'm letting you all know now, my friends, Snapchat will go higher. This is not the all-time high on Snapchat, I promise. This is one that you can be put on your list. You can be watching this one. This is a stock that is going to go up from here. Now, pick your time frame and play it based on that information, but just know that Snapchat, based on everything that I've ever studied, this is going to go higher from here. Big picture. So enjoy if you're in it, and if you're not in it, find a way to get in. I'm not in Snapchat, but I'll try to find a way to get in at some point. Otherwise, I'll just keep making money on Pinterest or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Smith & Wesson, SWBI. I want to play this, but I'm honestly chicken. All right, fine. You heard it here first. I'm scared to play Smith & Wesson going into the election. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm a giant baby. I know. Just a toddler. So I'm going to wait this out or day trade it if I can find a good opportunity. Chart looks good. Gap looks good. It was a really, really cool retest gap, and it just slowly grinded higher all day. So charts look bullish, but again, I have no idea what the election is going to do, and that will be in a stock that will absolutely move based on elections. TWLO, just wait it out. This is the retest of this retest gap. There's the retest gap. This is the retest. This is also the retest of the previous all-time high level. So here's the weekly chart. Very, very high. I don't have any positions in TWLO. I just think it's really, really up there. If you do want to play a position on it, small share size or some type of debit spread or bull put spread non-directional, if you can get a little bit of an actual selling day. Today was kind of a selling day, but not really. So if you get an actual selling day, get some good premium, maybe there's some good money for December. So I would either do that or a bull call spread or just some small share size. But that's all I would expect on Twilio. Now, there's a lot of people talking recently about XPEV, AKA the Chinese Tesla. And there will never be such thing as a Chinese Tesla. But if you want a potential Chinese Tesla, NEO or XPEV could be it. I would say buy the dip, I guess. Yeah, candle looks good. Buy into the halfway point of that candle. Good volume. You know, it is trading sideways. So best of luck. And let's see if we can go higher. So that's all I have on this one. Buy the pullback if you're playing XPEV. What's next on the list? Microsoft. Is it MCFT? Is that actually a stock? Oh, it is. Okay, I'll look at both. Mastercraft Boat Holdings. Beautiful double bottom. You're most likely in from that double bottom if you requested that stock. I'm not in. I don't have any position in this stock, but that was the pullback. And that does look pretty. It does look nice. That's probably how you're in it, honestly. So I'm not in this one. If you are in it, I guess just stay in. In general, looks good. Inside high wave candle, nice double bottom, weekly chart, 200 simple moving average. Yeah, just stay in if you're in, have your stops in place and hope for the best. Microsoft, so the big name, the big one, bearish gap and go yesterday, inside bullish candle today, and it's gapping down. Tomorrow could be interesting. Going to be kind of fun to see what we get tomorrow. I don't necessarily expect a massive bearish day, but could it? I mean, yeah, it's possible. So the hourly chart, we'll see. Probably gaps down and everything just immediately fades higher tomorrow. I thought the GDP numbers were good, but you know, what do I know? So good gap down, inside bull day candle, could continue lower. I'm not going to personally short Microsoft unless it's an aggressive day trade because let's face it, even in hindsight, how many times could you have shorted Microsoft successfully? Like looking at the candles I'm looking at, if I've had to be honest with myself, like none. I can't even find a good short. So I'm probably just going to wait on Microsoft. We have a swing trade set up on it. So this one did trigger the Momo a few days ago, and we've been looking at it ever since. So we set up, some traders got in 2 or 3 days ago over here. Some traders got in over here. So if you're not in, that's fine. If you are in, cool. And this is the official setup that I have on Unity software, which is a pullback to 101.81 with a stop at 94.54. Buy the dip on Unity, see if it works. LULU. So LULU is cool because it's right at the 100 and has a really, really small hammer candle. So keep your eyes on LULU. I know a few people here like this one. This also looks like a pennant pattern. And I wouldn't short this stock because, you know, how often does that work? So I guess if it breaks out of here, buy yoga pants. And last but not least, Facebook is flat over earnings. Perfectly flat. They had great earnings numbers, but they were up, they were down, and now they're not doing anything at all. So Facebook, good earnings numbers. Trend is bullish. Can't be bearish on this one. Stay long on Facebook, however you're playing it. And that's the analysis because earnings are out on Facebook and we have the information that we need. So most of earnings are over on the big names. Next week, we're definitely going to have some. But once we get there, we will, after earnings season's over, the election's over, guys, November and December are going to be a whole new month. A whole new month. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So I'm pumped. Tomorrow is Friday. Your boy, Matt DeLong, will be going through the 10 EMA strategy along with the momentum on his 15 stocks. You guys know the 15 stocks. Enjoy. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. You guys rock. Goodbye.